Good morning students. Chapter 2 Kingdom Animalia. In the last class we have seen that the animals are classified based on certain common fundamental features such as the arrangement of cell layers, levels of organization, nature of coelom, presence or absence of segmentation, notochord and the organization of the organ system. In that, first we have seen the level of organization. So based on the level of organization, animals are classified into the cellular level of organization, tissue level of organization, organ level of organization and organ system level of organization. In today's class we are going to see the another one fundamental feature, that is the arrangement of cell layers. So now we are going to see about the embryonic development. How an embryo is formed. So when the male gamete sperm fuses with the female gamete ovum, the fertilized ovum is called as zygote. The zygote undergoes division. Zygote is in single cell. It divides into 2, then 4, 8, 16 like that. It keeps on dividing, and after few hours it forms a multicellular structure called as blastomere. This blastomere, that is this multicellular structure, is then converted into gastrula. That is this blastomere. Blastomere contains group of cells. These group of cells arrange themselves into layers. So this is called as gastrula or gastrulation. So the gastrula has 3 germ layers. The outer layer is ectoderm, the middle layer is mesoderm and the inner layer is called as endoderm. So this is called as the primary germ layers or the primitive germ layers. So coming to this topic, diploblastic and triploblastic organization. During embryonic development, that is when the fetus develops, the tissues and organs of animals originate from 2 or 3 embryonic germ layers. So during embryonic development, some organisms have 2 germ layers. When they have 2 germ layers, they are called as diploblastic, and when they have 3 germ layers, they are called as triploblastic. So how the tissues and organs of an animal originate, from where do they come from, means they come from these 3 germ layers. So on the basis of the origin and development, animals are classified into 2 categories. So they are the diploblastic and triploblastic animals. First we will see about the diploblastic animals. So animals in which the cells are arranged in 2 embryonic layers. So when the cells are arranged in 2 layers, they are called as diploblastic. The outer layer is called as the external ectoderm and the inner layer is called as the internal endoderm. So the outer layer is called as ectoderm and the inner layer is called as endoderm. So presence of 2 germ layers is called as diploblastic animals. In these animals, the ectoderm gives rise to certain organs. That is, it mainly gives rise to the epidermis, the outer layer of the body wall, and the endoderm gives rise to gastrodermis, that is tissue which lines the gut cavity, that is the digestive system. An undifferentiated layer present between the ectoderm and endoderm is the mesoglia. So examples of this diploblastic animals are, that is corals, jellyfish, sea anemone. So here you can able to see the diploblastic animals. Diploblastic means they have only, that is 2 germ layers, that is the ectoderm and the endoderm, and no mesoderm is present. Next we will see about the Triploblastic animals. What do you mean by triploblastic? Means these animals have 3 germ layers during their embryonic development. So the outer layer is called as ectoderm, and the middle layer is called as the mesoderm, and the inner layer is called as the endoderm. And some specific organs and tissues develop from these layers. For example, if you take the outer layer ectoderm, from this ectoderm only skin, hair, neuron, nail, teeth, etc. develop. And from the inner layer endoderm only gut, lungs, liver develop. And from the middle layer mesoderm only the muscle, heart, bone, all this develop from the mesoderm. So most of the triploblastic animals show organ system level of organization. That means, that is, triploblastic animals means they are the complex animals and they show the organ system level of organization. Example, from flatworms to chordates. So all higher animals are triploblastic and the lower animals are diploblastic. So triplo means, tri means 3 germ layers, diplo means 2 germ layers, di means 2, tri means 3. So in this picture you can able to see the germinal layers. First is the diploblastic. The diploblastic has outer ectoderm and the inner endoderm, and the mesoderm is not differentiated. So only mesoglia is present. But if you take in the triploblastic, there are 3 germ layers, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So this is about the diploblastic and triploblastic. So based on this diploblastic and triploblastic also the animals are classified. Next we are going to see another one feature of classification, that is patterns of symmetry. So what is symmetry means? Symmetry is the body arrangement in which parts lie on the opposite side of an axis or identical. So what do you mean by symmetry means? It is the body arrangement or the body plan in which the opposite side of an axis are identical. So the opposite sides are identical. An animal body plan results from the animal's pattern of development. So the simplest body plan you can able to see in the sponges. Sponges are very simple marine animals. So in this sponges you can able to see the simplest body plan. So they do not display symmetry. The simplest body plan is seen in sponges. They do not display symmetry means they don't show symmetry. They are asymmetrical. That means the body cannot be divided into 2 equal halves on any plane. So symmetry means when the body is cut at any plane passing through the central axis, it gives 2 identical halves. But asymmetry means absence of symmetry, that is the body cannot be divided into 2 halves when cut at any plane. So sponges are asymmetrical. Such animals lack a definite body plan and are irregular shape. Why they cannot be cut into 2 equal halves means their body is irregular. And any plane passing through the center of the body does not divide them into 2 equal halves. Example, sponges. An asymmetrical body plane is also seen in the adult gastropods, that is snails. So examples of asymmetrical is sponges and gastropods, that is snails. So here the body cannot be divided into 2 equal halves. So next we are going to see the radial symmetry. So what do you mean by radial symmetry means? That is, symmetrical animals have paired body parts. So already told you, symmetrical animals have paired or identical body parts that are arranged on either side of the plane passing through the central axis. So when any plane passing through the central axis cut the organisms into 2 equal parts, they are called as symmetrical. So when any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides an organism into two identical parts, it is called as radial symmetry. So radial symmetry means when the organism is cut at any plane passing through the central axis, it gives two equal or identical parts. That is called as radial symmetry. And such radial symmetry, animals have a top and bottom side but no dorsal and ventral side. So their body pattern is arranged in such a way they have a top and bottom side, but there is no dorsal or ventral side, and there is no left or right side. They have body plan in which the body parts are organized in a circle around an axis. So this is the principal symmetry in diploblastic animals. So radial symmetry you can able to see in the diploblastic animals. Examples: cnidarians such as sea anemone and corals are radial symmetrical. So in this picture you can able to see the radial symmetry in the sea anemone. So when the body is cut at any plane passing through the central axis, it gives two identical parts. That is called as radial symmetry. Example: sea anemones and corals. Next we are going to see the pentamerous radial symmetry. What do you mean by pentamerous radial symmetry means? So this can be, that is the pentamerous radial symmetry can be seen in animals like echinoderms. Example: starfish. So when the body, if the body can be cut into 5 equal parts. Example: starfish. So the starfish have 5 planes of symmetry and show pentamerous radial symmetry. So what do you mean by penta means 5. So their body is divided into 5 equal parts. That is called as pentamerous radial symmetry. Next we are going to see about the bilateral symmetry. What is bilateral symmetry means? So animals which possess 2 pairs of symmetrical sides are said to be bilaterally symmetrical. Bilateral symmetrical is a combination of radial and bilateral symmetry as seen in the ctenophores. There are only 2 planes of symmetry. Here the body can be cut into 2 equal halves only by 2 planes. One is the longitudinal plane and another one is the transverse plane. So when the body is cut at the longitudinal axis, it gives 2 equal parts, and when the body is cut at the transverse axis, it gives 2 equal parts. This is called as bilateral symmetry. That is, the body can be divided into 2 equal halves only on 2 planes. One is the longitudinal plane and another one is the transverse plane. Example you can able to see in the bilateral symmetry in comb jelly. So here the body can be divided into 2 equal halves on only 2 planes, that is the longitudinal and the transverse plane. Next we are going to see about the bilateral symmetry. So what do you mean by bilateral symmetry means? Animals which have 2 similar halves on either side of the central plane. So when the animal is cut at the central plane, it gives 2 similar halves on either side. That is the bilateral symmetry. So it is an advantageous type of symmetry in triploblastic animals. So this type of symmetry you can able to see in the triploblastic animals, that is with the 3 germ layers. So why this symmetry, that is bilateral symmetry, is advantageous means it helps in seeking food. So when the body is cut at the center plane, it gives 2 equal parts on either side. This is called as bilateral symmetry. So this is an advantageous type of symmetry because it helps in seeking food, that is searching of food, locating mates and escaping from the predators more efficiently. So this symmetry helps the animals to search food easily and to locate the mates easily and also to escape from the predators very effectively. Animals that have dorsal and ventral sides, anterior and posterior ends, right and left side are bilaterally symmetrical. So the bilaterally symmetrical animals are They have dorsal and ventral side. They have anterior and posterior ends, and also they have right and left side. And they exhibit cephalization. What do you mean by cephalization? Means the head is distinct. The head part is separate, in which the sensory organs are present in the head region. Sensory and the brain structures are concentrated at the anterior end of the animal. So they exhibit cephalization. The head part is distinct, and the anterior side of the body has sensory and the brain structures. Example you can able to see in the insects. Bilateral symmetry is seen in insects. So when the insect is cut into or cut at the central plane, it gives two identical parts. So this is about the patterns of symmetry. So animals are classified based on the patterns of symmetry also. Go through this topic. The next class will discuss about the coelom. Thank you.